Okay, guys, welcome back to the wrap up for the 15th of December, and what a day it was. So, again, if anyone's new here, this particular series that I do on Wednesday is just kind of a midweek wrap up of what happened in the crypto and the equity markets, kind of a shortened version of the live streams that I do on Sunday. So, sign up to my email down below on my website if you're interested in getting notified for when I go live. Also, kind of what you're going to see here is a very brief version of what I give to the Stats Edge Pro members every single night, except they get a whole blog write up, a full watch list, access to all of my scans, things like that. So if you're interested in that at all, again, my websites are in the description down below, along with affiliate links for the softwares you're going to see. If you're interested in any of these and you check them out that way, it helps out the channel. So enough with that. Let's get into it here. Let's actually start with the crypto markets before we go into the real market. So, on Bitcoin, essentially what I've just been looking at is this range that we're in, just to make this very, very simple. As long, in my opinion, as long as we are above or below this kind of resistance up here, call it 60,000, and above 40,000 on Bitcoin in particular, there's not much to do, right? You just don't want to be trading too much in the middle of these ranges. There may be some money in there on a shorter time frame, but for me, I just want to get something that's going to trend. Next is Ether USD, and Ether is kind of the king recently, right? So this one's actually been holding higher relative to Bitcoin. So where it would be if it was the same as Bitcoin would be down here, but it's done a good job holding this area, which you can see was resistance back here and resistance back here, and now supported through here. So definitely some strength there with Ether. Next, I'm looking at BAT USD. Again, I don't know what most of these cryptos do. I really don't care. It's just kind of, I'm a chartist and a quant, so everything I do is based off of that. So here we have some resistance here that turned into support in through here. So I'm basically trying to bet to see if this trend line will break and will push higher from there on that one. And Mana is another one that's just been really, really strong. You got to get it from the right exchange. There, it's got more data. So this is Mana or Decentraland. It's kind of looking like it was back here, where it set up this nice bull flag and then pushed higher. And now it's going to set up, hopefully, a nice bull flag here as well. And then maybe we'll get another push. So I'm watching to see if that breaks that trend line. Now into the markets and what everyone was seeing today. So, you know, I have a note here. Again, these are what the charts look like for the Stats Edge members that just talk about basically what's going on when it's annotated, but I really like to use trade ideas here for my charting when it comes to just the basic scanning. So essentially, I drew out this line right here, pretty much exactly what all-time highs were minus this day right here, and we broke that again. So once again, right here, I was hearing all over Twitter it was the end of the world. Here, I was hearing the same thing, and then even back here, people were saying that this FOMC is going to tank the market and everything is going to go crazy and blah blah blah, and completely wrong again. Just kind of showing that when you're in a trend like this, you're just stick with the trend. It's just going to make your life so much easier. So the SPY is just, there's nothing bearish to say there. Not quite all-time highs, but pretty close, and new all-time highs is certainly not a bearish thing. Down to RSP. So RSP, again, for you guys that don't know, the SPY is a cap-weighted index, so it has a lot of weight to the bigger names, your Apples, your Googles, that kind of thing. RSP is kind of evenly distributed across different names. So this one's a little bit shy, basically just showing that larger cap names like Apple have been carrying a lot of this rally in the SPY, but still looks okay to me. It did kind of the same movement of the SPY where it kind of sold off this morning and then it pushed up. And again, just a nice little base going on here. So if that breaks, we've got to watch all-time highs. And if that breaks, we're off to the races. But I don't see anything bearish in this chart either. We go into the IWM. And the IWM is super interesting because I think every technician or every trader that uses charts on Earth has been watching this level down here. So, this area right here, right? You can see lots of support going on through there. It was looking pretty dicey this morning as it sold off and started to push lower. But the fact that we undercut this low just a little bit and then rallied may have suckered in some shorts. We still have to see if this continues. But so far, this support's holding. Just showing that the larger cap names are dramatically outperforming the smaller cap names. So me as a trader, I've been gravitating towards a lot of the bigger names for a lot of my trades. Another ETF I wanted to point out, again, I'm just doing the quick highlights here. The Stats Edge Pro members get a much deeper dive, but this drive, which is just EVs, essentially, EVs and EV related stocks, has had a big level right in through here. And it's kind of come back and tested that twice, and it's bounced off it pretty good today. So if this continues, it might just show that we're getting a rotation back into some of these EV speculative names. So that's something to keep an eye on and to watch. Sorry, my iPad closed with my notes. Okay. So just looking now at a few stocks. So Arch, ARCH, I entered some of this today, but I just like the look of this one. We pulled back on Arch Resources into this prior support, bounced off it, and then we've been putting in this kind of sideways action. So a bull flag, I guess you could call it. I took a little bit on anticipation of a breakout. I'm hoping that that breakout continues and we take a shot at highs. A cheaper one, JRPH, basically just looking at this one for this RSI divergence, which is a strategy I'm playing more and more with. We're getting higher highs on the RSI and then a lower highs on price right here. So that kind of spurred this pop higher, and then we reached kind of these prior lows right here. And we've pulled back for a couple days, and now it looks like we're pushing higher. So if this continues tomorrow, I'm going to see if I can take some of that. And then last but not least, from the retail sector, I'm looking at BJ Wholesales. Just a nice kind of flag going on here. You can see here on Trade Ideas, we have these little E's just represent earnings right there. And that occurred right down here, and you can see the reaction to earnings was great, and ever since then we've done a good job of holding the lows of that earnings report and then just churning. So I think if this congestion resolves higher, that is a really good looking name to me as well. Okay, guys, so thank you all for coming out. Again, check the link in the description below for my website, and that will, give you discount codes and things for the softwares I use, as well as a free trading course that's always there, and then access to Stats Edge Pro if you want to give that a shot. And just some thoughts of the market, right? With the year winding down and it's getting to the point where holidays are getting closer and closer, I expect the market to kind of lighten up when it comes to volume. So just keep that in mind. It might not be the time to swing for the fences, but overall, especially after this FOMC meeting, everything looks really bullish. So that's all for today. I'll talk to you guys soon and trade safe.